Boy, I tell you, we're here now. You made it. You made it. You've done a couple of trades, feeling pretty good about yourself, and you started to notice something. You've started to notice something about you deep down inside. Whether it's like, oh, I should have stayed a little bit longer, or why did I get in? I got in a little too late. You start questioning what you know and what you've been taught. And that's when the market starts to affect your mind. And so what I want to talk to you about today is how to manage your mindset, how to manage the psychology of trading. And we call this mind over the market. How to manage your mindset over the market so that you can become a successful day trader, which is what we had to do to be able to see consistent gains in our life. We had to, and I say we, my husband and I, Coach Trent, we had to learn how to manage all of these emotions, but there wasn't a set book or play list that I could follow. I mean, being new, and I didn't learn how to trade until I was 49 years old. I'm 55 now. So there weren't a lot of places I could go to answer my specific question about what I was battling in my mind. So I spent a lot of time crying, going through depression. We forgot, and going through depression and not feeling hopeless, but I knew I could do it. I knew I could do it. I didn't realize that I was mastering my mindset at the time. So I started reading a lot of self-help books, doing a lot of meditation and yoga, and speaking things into existence that I knew could be. That's what helped me reshape my mind and becoming more educated with my craft so I could become more comfortable. So some of the areas that we found issues with and why most traders, do you know that 90% of day traders quit within the first 30 to 90 days? They quit. So you're only left with 10%. And that 10%, we're over here left trying to manage our mindset. And out of that 10%, you have 1 to 3% that are successful. And I want more for you. I want more for everyone that's a part of this community, the cousin crew. And if I could just help in any way possible, hopefully this video will resonate with you. Now we have a panel of wonderful people on board that's willing to share their stories too. And so I'll start this out with Amina. We're dealing with, there's 7 areas, and I think I'm going to include 8 because depression is one. And that's the biggest one of all, which is depression. But we want to go over anxiety. When anxiety kicks in when you're in a play, fear, FOMO, comparison, greed, overtrading, analysis paralysis, and depression. So if this is where you feel like if you can identify with any of these, this is the right video for you. I just want you to hang tight. You might learn something, might heal your soul, and guess what? Make you a better trader. So Amina, let's hear it from you. I know you've had some issues that you've dealt with anxiety in the past as a trader. Do you mind sharing your experience?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. And as um, as I've told you before, I really had a lot of anxiety, but now, like you said, after the market will teach you about yourself. So I started learning that my anxiety actually was being caused by unrealistic expectations.
Oh,
Yes, I had this unrealistic expectation. I was in a job that I didn't like. It was so stressful. So when I found out about trading, I thought, man, I'll just open my brokerage account, put money in, and when that candle goes green, I'll make money, and I can go ahead and pay my bills and
yes.
just show out to people that I don't need a job. Well, the market doesn't work that
It
way.
doesn't. The market don't work that way.
It doesn't work that way. You are not going to make replace your income in one day or just on one trade. And also what was causing more of the anxiety is that I was watching a lot of YouTubes and I'll see people showing their Mercedes Benz, a nice house, and I was like,
Yep.
why can that be me? What am I missing? I am here, So I started beating myself up, and I'm thinking maybe I'm not that smart enough. Maybe there's something I'm missing.
Mhm.
Then that's when I went to, I found Telegram, all these signals, the Discords,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'll pay money. And the person who, was hosting the Discord, they're making money. But something didn't click that they're making money because I'm paying for this service.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I'll get so frustrated, and it just got worse and worse to where I just isolated myself
Oh, wow.
because I couldn't tell anybody, because if the time that I had told my sister that I'm going to be trading, she's like, "Oh, you can't do this. It's only for the elites.
Oh,
It's
wow.
hard. It's hard.
Wow.
So that's how I got this anxiety. But now, um, finding you, and I'm processing now that it's okay to walk away with the 5%. I'm not going to make $10,000 today, but I will get there.
That's right. That's right.
Yes, and so I was
I
out
love it.
playing. I was out playing tennis over the weekend, and the coach said, do this and do that, and then after a while, you have this muscle memory, and it
Oh,
finally clicked that what Miss Alera was saying about the strategy. Eventually, I will have this muscle memory to where I'll come to the market, I'll look at the chart, and I'll say, okay, this is where I picked my 5%, and it's not going to be a struggle anymore.
absolutely.
Yes.
That's a great analogy too. That is exactly what it is. It's like we're building your muscle. So,
Yes.
so you'll have muscle memory. And once
Yes.
you have muscle memory, you will be in control. And all of the things that plague us psychological wise, it won't anymore.
No.
It won't. It won't. That's
Yes.
excellent. Thank you for
So,
sharing that.
yeah. So now I don't have that anxiety that I have to make 10,000. Now I'm just like, okay, let me make my 5%. And then once I
Mhm.
make my 5%, that's it. I'm done for the day. I shut down my computer
That's
and I
right.
can go my business.
Oh,
Thank you.
excellent. Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That is so, did that resonate with anyone else too? Oh, everyone's muted. I'm sorry, guys.
Absolutely.
Yes,
All
yes,
of it.
yes, all of it. Well, next, now that anxiety, we're going straight on to fear. Boy, fear is a major one. Fear is major. Kim, can you help tell us your story?
Hi everybody.
Hi, I
I
love
agreed to
your
talk on this.
hair.
Oh, thank you. I agreed to talk on this topic because yes, I feel in many ways in my life, not just in the stock market, that I have a lot of fear. I guess that kind of goes along with anxiety, but um I feel like my fear comes from the fact that I feel like I have to be successful. Like I'm the breadwinner of my family. There's a lot of
Mm,
people relying on me. If for some reason things fall apart, everybody's going in my family or my people that depend on me are looking at me.
mhm.
And so in many ways I try to protect myself, and that goes with when you're working, job, stock market, anything really that you do in your life, you try to navigate the best you can so you end up in the best possible position.
So you
So as
feel
far
like it
as
was pressure led to fear.
sometimes I do feel pressure.
Mhm,
But then I have to kind of like bring myself down. I
mhm.
have to pray about it. I have to think about it because everybody's amount of pressure is not the same.
Exactly.
And things that are pressure for me is not necessarily pressure for other people, because some people can look at my life and say, "Oh, she's rich,"
Right.
and I feel like I'm penniless, right? So
Yes.
everybody's perception is different,
Oh
you
gosh,
know,
it is.
and your success rate is different. So like when it comes to like um day trading,
Yes.
I feel like I'm the kind of person that I am not going to jump out there and, not know what I'm doing and possibly lose a lot, even though we're not trading with a lot right now. But I like the fact that we are able to learn so we can use these tools, and you can also kind of go at your own pace because we've
Yes.
been we've been day trading now with real money for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
Me personally, I've only done it like 3 or 4 times, which
Mm-hmm.
is close to a week, but
Yeah.
you know, the times that I didn't use real money, I still paper traded, and that's okay that you can
Right.
still try to practice until you feel comfortable. And I feel like once we go a little further in our learning, our trading, how much we're spending, I'm
Mm-hmm.
going to kind of follow suit with that. Like the other day when the market was really choppy, I didn't
Right.
even attempt because I didn't want to take a chance at, you know, losing $1, right? I didn't want to take a chance at losing $1. You know, God forbid losing a lot of money. But I have to also keep in mind that you cannot let fear hold you back, because you cannot be successful in life without taking a chance.
That's
You
right.
can't get
That's
the
right.
job you want. You can't get I couldn't even get the car I wanted, and
Right.
without stepping out there and getting, you know, asking for things. And if I can just, you know, use that as an example,
Mm-hmm.
I went through something some years ago, and I tried to get a phone in my name, and they made me put down a couple $100 as the collateral. And my credit was A1 excellent prior to this, and
Oh my
I
God.
felt so hurt.
I know you feel.
You're kidding me. You want me to put down a deposit?
What is that?
And
Right.
so, you know, my dad put the phone in my name. I mean his name for me. And sometime afterwards, I wanted to go buy a car. And in my mind, I'm like, I know I'm not gonna be able to get this car. They wouldn't even give me a phone. They want $200 for this phone. And
Right.
I asked a family member if they would put the car in their name for me. They
Mm-hmm.
told me, if you can't afford that car, you shouldn't get it. And that gave me that mindset. I'm going to go in there. I'm going to get that car. And when I went in there, they let me get this car with no money down.
That's that favor now. See,
This is
that's that favor now. You already know
this
what
was
happened. You
many
know what God was doing.
this is many years ago. But had I not gone through that experience, I never would have gone in there and even tried to get
Oh,
that car.
wow.
And so
Wow.
I kind of, you know, use that as like, you know, a back, you know, burner with some of the other things we doing in life, because, you know, with day trading, this can really potentially, you know, change your whole life.
It can. If you
And
can, all those barriers that we're talking about, if they can be removed, it is absolutely life-changing. Absolutely life-changing.
but one thing I know, it cannot be life trading if you don't want to get in the game.
So you can't, that's what it fear. That's what it fear.
So,
You gotta jump
you
off
know,
the porch. You gotta
so
jump off the
you
porch.
have to navigate that. And, you know, I think if you're a person that can do things within reason, because
Mhm.
you don't have to give your whole life away. You just got to make an effort,
I love
and
that.
you can grow from there.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that with us. I know that a lot of us, we've dealt with all of these emotions, and fear is something that is major and it plagues us because number one, you know, it's money on the line. It's money and it's like like you said, I gotta make it happen. I can't fail. Well, one thing about trading, we know we're gonna have losses. That's part of it.
It's
And
part
to
of it.
let it define you. You know, if you have 10 trades and 4 of them you lost, so you still up 60%. But some people can't even grab that one loss. It just fear would just grab them and shake them. So I'm glad that you were able to share that and that you were able to move on past
And
that.
if I can add one more thing, I do have
Sure.
a financial advisor,
Mm-hmm.
and prior to this, for many years, I did the stock market. I didn't feel like I was super successful in it, but that was my perception.
Right.
Coming from him, he felt like, oh, you all made a lot of money because you started here and you ended up here.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, everything is based on what you think, you know, like I said, what you're willing to put into the game. But as far as like day trading goes, I feel like if you're only investing $100 of your own money and you grow from there, and we get to the point where we're trading thousands, and you
Yes.
happen to lose 50,000,
You
I
it's
still got my same livelihood that I had before I started, because all I
there you
really spent
go.
was $100.
That's all. Now you
So
understand.
you have to try to gravitate to that higher plateau,
Now
and to
you
know you can do
understand.
that with somebody else's money. That's
What?
all I do.
House money, house money. That's it. My goal is to get you guys to just house money. That's it. It's house money. But thank you. Thank you so much, Kim.
Mhm.
So next we're moving on to our old friend FOMO, fear of missing out. Now this one has so many traders in a chokehold. I don't know if I can say chokehold, but it has so many traders caught up. And Angelique, my girl, it's your turn. Your time to shine. Tell us about FOMO in your life.
So a couple of different things. So
Thank you.
the first the first thing with FOMO, thinking about so when we first started this, I was doing a lot of back end things. So people were doing the paper trading and I was focusing on something else. And so when it was time, you were announcing about, look, we're going to be doing real trading. I was like, oh no, I need to like catch up or something, right? I was like, so I spent the weekend doing like back testing so I can get my, trades in. And I only had like a couple of them, but I didn't want to miss out. I wanted to be, I wanted to be on track. Another thing about fear of missing out with me is not being on track with what the program is. Yeah, I want to get with the program and I want to be on time and things like that. So that was one part of the FOMO for me when thinking about, the 5% daily drip method. There was other FOMO when I was trying to do other things with futures, but with this
Mhm.
year, the thing that's getting me right now is I'm getting in. I want to make sure I'm getting my 5%. So some of the trades have been the counter trend. And when it's a counter trend, that opportunity is not as big.
Mhm.
And so later on in the session, I'm seeing those explosive moves. And I'm like, oh, I want to get in there. I want to get it because I know those percentages are really high, but
Right.
that's the FOMO I'm experiencing right now. But it's a good kind of FOMO because I know what I'm doing. I know, right? We're
Yep.
learning this. We just learned this recently, but I know that I can get that 5% with that counter trend. And maybe down the line, if you let us, probably not, say, we can get
Yeah.
for trading live. You say, everybody can get in on that, that second explosive move. Probably not,
Right.
but
Right.
but that's
Right.
my FOMO right now. I'm seeing those bigger moves, and it's like it's not stressing me out. But on the flip side, I'm excited that I do see that there's another trade there. Like I'm seeing it right away. So it's a
Oh,
blessing and a curse.
wow.
It's a blessing and a curse. But I'm
Ah,
yes, it is.
so being able to see, that's so interesting. So now that you have, you're glad you can see the market clearly.
Yes.
It's hard to probably sit on your hands because you
Yes.
now see those are three plays.
It's
Those were
skyrocketing.
three plays I could have
Skyrocketing.
gotten. Right.
It-
I could see that. But
yes.
the beauty in this is that when you look back over how being able to get in and get out provides you a level of comfort and ease, that you don't have to even concern yourself with. Once you get that 5%, you're done. And then a year from now, it's going to be amazing. But I do understand that too, because, it takes discipline. So what you're
Yes.
experiencing is FOMO, but you have to allow discipline to be at play. And so you're getting two, just like a 2-for-1.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
good. That
All
is
right.
very
That's
good.
mine.
That is so good. Thanks for sharing that because I think a lot of people will resonate with that because I have provided, I guess I would say, the bifocal glasses for you all to be like, oh, this is what that is. Okay. And there are some people, I will tell you that they are doing that. They'll go, Arletta, listen, I'm doing this 5% over here, but I got another account that now that I see, I'm letting it rip. And I said, okay, well, listen, I don't have anything to do with that. I teach the 5%. But it's kind of hard for them to just see it like I see this though. I see it. My method doesn't work for everyone. I see it all day long. I could trade all day. I could literally hit 3 or 4 winning trades a day, but why? For me, like once you get there, no, you want to really have a life of leisure and luxury and ease. And that to me, that one and done does it. But when you can see, you can see. I can't, you can't unsee it if you see it. So I understand you. I understand you 100%. Okay. Well, look at me. We're moving on to comparison. That's me. Comparison. It's almost like Amina said, for example, your strategy could be working perfectly for you. And in comes somebody else telling you what they made, what the same play you were in. You're like, well, I was in that play. I only got $100. You mean you got 1,000? How did what did I doing? What am I doing wrong? Or like she said, they're pulling up in the G-Wagons and they're in multi-million dollar homes, and you're thinking, I should be there. And so when you compare yourself, comparison is the enemy of, what is it? It's the enemy of joy. It's there to steal your joy when you compare yourself to others. And when you think about it, like anytime you're comparing yourself, that is the enemy coming in to steal your joy. You can't even appreciate where you are. Everyone's in a different place. We all go through different things in life. So right now, I could give somebody a $20 gift card and they would love it. It could be food for them. Someone else could take that same $20 gift card and throw it in the trash because they don't even that's not enough money for them. So I feel like with comparison, it's the same way. I started doing that. I started trading because I saw them holding money up to their ear. I'm like, I want that. I want this. I mean, I'm not going to hold my money up, but I want that kind of money. And so I instantly thought when I got in the market, I was supposed to have that kind of money. And that actually set me back an entire year because I had unrealistic expectations, just as Amina said. And I think that has a lot to do with when you compare yourself to others. And we know it's only one you. It can only be one you. It's one blueprint for you. So I would just say, stick to what you know that you know. I teach my cousins. If you only just know one candlestick, okay, that's what you know, stick with it. If you only just know when the VWAP and the EMA cross over, that's my time to shine. Stick with that. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing because the races run differently for everyone. So that's my take on comparison. It doesn't get you anywhere. You just have to do your own thing and get comfortable with your own thing. And I feel like this is a safe place for you guys to land, to learn, to figure out what is my lane? What is it that I know? What do I know that I know that I know? And once you know that you know that you know something, you don't compare anymore. So that's my take on comparison. But next, we're moving on to greed. Tamika 904. Can you please tell us your experience with greed? Because this is the one that gets everybody clapped. Is that greed?
Well, good afternoon, everyone.
Hey.
I'm going to talk about my experience with greed. And it's going to be short and sweet, hopefully. But on the 24th of this month, I took a trade and I was up by 23%.
Okay.
And so I got in the trade and got out, but I kept looking at the chart and I'm like, okay, if I got this 23, 24%, I could jump in and get,
Get another.
get some more.
Yes, Lord.
And so I ended up jumping in again and lost $7.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm experiencing, okay, I got to get them $7 back because I got to end
Now I
at
gotta
that
get my money back.
23% again. So jumped in again and lost $6 more. So guess what I did after that? I cut my computer off and I got out. I said, I'm not doing this anymore. So that is my experience with greed. And I did that because I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the fish tables, gambling online and things like that. So I used to do that. Like I made a lot of money doing that. I've made $14,000 doing that. I've made $10,000 doing that. I'm a very good gambler when it comes to like the fish tables online. So that same mentality has carried over to me day trading. And I've realized that I cannot have that same mentality when I day trade because I will lose my money. So that's just my experience with that. I cannot have a gambler's mentality when it comes to day trading. I have to stay focused, and all of the other things that you guys have saying that y'all have experienced, I experience that every day. Every single day. Every single day entering a trade. I started out
It's a
trading.
battle. It's a mind battle. Would you agree? It's a battle of the mind.
It is definitely a mind battle.
Mm-hmm.
I started out trading Forex in 2018, 2019. So I have a little bit of experience trading, but no experience trading options because, it's kind of different. But in Forex, I made pennies on the dollar. Like I wasn't really being profitable in that. So, that's why I decided to trade options. But the experience as far as greed has just been it's been a battle for myself because I'm used to making a lot of money, and it's
And
easy
quickly.
to and quickly,
And
and it's
quickly.
easy to compare this to gambling, but
Mhm.
the mentality is definitely not the same. So
No,
I
no,
just wanted to just give out, just my example of that, and I
that
hope
is great.
everybody else isn't going through that because I
Well,
am
they are,
struggling.
listen, they are, 90% of the people are. So listen, this is why we want to make this video. Look, Angelique, everybody saying we are. Yes, yes, yes. This is not new. The market will teach you everything about you. It has nothing to do with trading. It has everything to do with you and your interpersonal issues that you have from childhood all the way up. That is exactly what this is about. So I listen. I hear you. We are, I tell you, I got the t-shirts for all these things. I got a t-shirt, I got stock in them. We have been through it. So to hear your take on it, I think you're learning now discipline. And I think as a gambler, most gamblers don't have discipline because they're number one, they are good at what they do. And
Right.
so when they're good at what they do and they're winning, like my husband, that's how he lost to 832,000 because he was so good. How could you question me? I know how to do this. And then he lost an additional 100 trying to get it back.
Hmm.
And you have to sit down and reset your mind.
You definitely lose more trying to get it back because your mind is all over the place.
Yes.
And then that gambler mindset sets in and it's like, hey, I'm gonna jump in real quick and I'll get it back, real quickly. I'll just let it go up, this one candle, and then I'll jump out. And so
Yes.
you start jumping in and out really quick on that 1 minute
Yes.
time chart, and you will lose your money doing that. And I
Yes.
am I'm a person that can say I've experienced losing money on that. And today I jumped in a trade as well, and I'm in the negative again, $34. But I'm not afraid of losing the money. I'm not afraid of losing it because scared money don't make no money. So
That's right. That's right. That's right. Well, you know
I'm gonna
what?
take my losses today and try again tomorrow.
Well, I want to make sure if you need me to, we can talk about that trade too if you want to.
Okay.
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 Because if you see what you did,
I
then it's
did.
fine. Okay.
I
Okay.
did. I
Okay. Okay.
definitely did.
As long as you see what you did, we still good. We still here. We hold each other up.
One of the other traders this morning came in. She actually did the same thing that I did. Once it broke through the 15-minute the 5-minute orb,
Mhm.
instead of waiting on the third candle, I entered on the second candle, and that was my mistake. I should have waited on the third candle. I entered in a
Yes.
put, so that was my mistake. So I
Yes.
didn't chime in this morning on the Zoom because somebody else had already did it. But that is where I made my mistake at this morning.
Okay, look, I'm glad you know that, and I'm proud of you too. I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, next we're moving on from greed. Oh, and greed, this leads right into it. It is overtrading. And I know Angela has something to add to give us her 2 cents on overtrading, but this is essentially what Tamika did. Once she was in greed, she then doubled down and started overtrading so she could try to get her money back. So Angela, can you speak to us on overtrading?
Yeah, absolutely. Little
Hi.
congested, so pardon my voice. So yeah, this is a perfect segue because I would go from FOMO to greed to overtrading. Like
Overtrading.
they would just follow each other like that. So in fact, I did it on Friday. And what would happen is I would overtrade, say I'm in the negative, I would go overtrade and then lose even more. And then I feel
Yes.
worse than I did before, I started overtrading. But it takes, I'm a post-it note person, right? So because I know I have the tendency to do that, I have to put up post-it notes like leave one,
I
one
saw
that
you
says
say
one
that.
trade. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I'm like, oh, I saw that call. I know I can jump in. I'm at Sesame Street level, so I can't be jumping in trying to get up and down. I need to learn a lot more before
Yeah.
I'm jumping and doing things. But yeah, overtrading it follows FOMO and greed. And sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. But for me, because I am so new and green at this, it typically works in the negative for me.
Yep, that's what
So yeah,
overtrading will set you up to make you think that this is the right thing to do
yeah.
until it gets you all the way sucked in and then nothing works after that.
And the
So,
only thing that's helping me now is I was saying this morning, I had to take my phone, and because my Robinhood app is on my phone, I had to put it in a whole nother room because if I'm seeing this call going, I'm like,
I'm
I
gonna get it.
recognize it's a call. I'm like switching up, and so that
But
helped me because I didn't have it right there to pull up
I
and do it.
like that you shared that. People, because this is
Yeah.
real. Folks want to know, okay, I'm over trading. What do I do? Angela said, take your phone out the room, go put it in another room. See,
Right,
what
or
you- I
a
like
drawer
that.
or something. Yeah, because I know I would have picked it up and tried to jump into that call because now I'm starting to recognize the candles. And
Ah,
so, yeah, and I'm glad you're doing this where we're having like a little amounts because when we get to the big amounts, we've already
You
established
train.
that mindset and
Yes.
right to do
Yep.
it. So
Yes, that's the
thank you.
purpose. That is the
Yeah.
purpose. I'm so glad. Thank you for sharing that too.
You're
I know
welcome.
the over trading, if you operate in greed, over trading is the cousin. Okay. So
Mhm.
it's no, they're connected. They probably twins, to be honest with you, because
That's
that's
similar
what
to
it is.
revenge trading too, right? Is that kind of the
Yeah,
same
yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Revenge trading, yeah.
Over trading to me can be it's a derivative of over trading, because what happens, they being greedy, you may take a loss, and then
Right.
take the loss, now you overtrade, and then when you overtrade and you don't make the money back, then you start revenge trading.
Right. Yeah.
Yes. So I gotta make sure I add
I
that.
was doing that a lot.
I gotta make sure I add that revenge trading right over trading. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that too, Angela.
You're welcome.
I want to talk on another topic that is so, I don't know if you guys are familiar with this, but it's called analysis paralysis. Analysis paralysis. And it is when you have too much information. You just too cool for school, honey. You got all the information, you know, all the charts, you know, the candlestick patterns. You're on the New York session, open Asia. I mean, you got the 7 computers, laptop screens. You got the blackout room. You in your trading chair, your gaming chair all day. Nobody can tell you nothing. Nobody can tell you nothing. You know everything. You know more than everybody. But yet you won't jump off the porch. You've been paper trading for 6 months. You're scared that you get in, you're losing every trade you get in because you overanalyzed it so much that you don't even know, you can't even see anymore. It's too much information. And I 100% suffered from analysis paralysis in the beginning. Yes, when you are afraid to implement what you've learned, that's exactly what analysis paralysis is. Although you have confidence in the information, you don't have confidence in yourself. And that's what I learned when I was stuck in analysis paralysis, is that I knew so much, but I wasn't convinced that I knew it. I knew I had read it. I knew you could quiz me on it. I could pass a quiz, but I was afraid. See, analysis paralysis is it's just fear. It's just another form of fear. It's just another form of fear that has taken over. And you think you're better than everybody a little bit because you know so much more. So that is another thing too. That is a spirit of haughtiness. You know, God is not in that either. You can't put yourself above other people because you think you know more. As I gave an example, I was training a young lady and she was telling me all this stuff. Now she's paying me to teach her, but she's telling me what. Okay. So when I simply asked her after 15 minutes of her telling me stuff, I said, okay, well, tell me how much, you know, I've made a couple $1 million doing this. So what have you been able to do with the thing you do? She said, oh, I haven't traded my own money yet. When I tell you, I would just want to push her off the table. Girl, go, get on out of here. You've been paper trading a year? I want that. It's a windmill. Instantly start windmilling because now you are insulting me. You're insulting me when I know what you're dealing with. You're dealing with analysis paralysis, ma'am. I've seen it. I've been her. What does it mean when you set up and you enter a trade, then you instantly get unsure about it? Someone asked a question, what does it mean when you set up a trade and you're unsure about it? Do you get in it anyway? Is that what you're asking? I'm not sure. I need to get clarity. Maybe you guys can get clarity on the comment. So that's what analysis paralysis is. It's when you have too much information and you're scared to make a move, and it's a lack of confidence. So if you are suffering from that, my suggestion is to clear your charts, clear everything, strip everything down, find you one strategy, find you one simple technique, find you one stock to trade, find you one thing to do. And I would say do that for a minimum of 6 months, because now you have to build your confidence back up. That's exactly what that is. It's a lack of confidence and fear, analysis paralysis. So we're going to move on into our last topic, which, listen, after you deal with anxiety, fear, FOMO, comparison, greed, overtrade, and revenge trading, analysis paralysis, then you have the company keeper. It's a company keeper, y'all. It's depression. And when I tell you, if you've never dealt with depression in your life, it is a company keeper. That's what my granddad used to say, and my grandmother. That's when something hurts you so bad to keep you company, like a toothache or a backache. Depression is a company keeper, and it can be almost impossible to shake it. It can be almost impossible to shake it, and you wouldn't even know you're in depression until you look up 6 months, a year later, and someone who loves you has to reach in and snatch you up to say, what's wrong with you? It starts out one way and it ends with depression. So I want to ask Liz, is Liz here? If Liz, is she back on the call?
I'm here. Can you
Hey
guys hear me?
Liz, how you doing, cousin?
I'm doing good. How's everybody this morning?
We're great. You look great.
Good. Thank you. Thank you so much. So
I
when
want to
I
know if
think
you
of,
can speak on it.
yeah, when I think about depression, um, and day trading,
Yes.
the two together, I feel like it requires mental toughness,
Mm.
discipline, and self-care. You have to know when you're getting yourself in a depressive state or you're feeling down about some of the decisions you made in your trade, that you take a moment to step away, reevaluate all the tools and knowledge that you provided us,
Mhm.
and try again. I was listening to someone earlier say, I lost money today, but I'm not going to let that keep me down. I know what I need to do in order to be successful. I realize that I made a mistake.
Yes.
And so tomorrow I'm going to get back in the market and I'm going to try again.
Yes.
So I think it's important that we don't have unrealistic expectations. You're not going to get in the market and make $1 million in a day or in a month or in 6 months.
Mhm.
So you have to practice patience,
Mhm.
and you have to, and I love the fact that you're telling us to just get in with $100 because
Yes.
you're limiting your risk. You're risk
Yes.
averse. And so if you lose 10% and you lose $10, you really shouldn't be depressed about
You're right.
losing $10, right? And
Because
so
you
I
got
feel
bigger
like
issues if you're depressed about that.
exactly. And I feel like you're setting us up so that we can be successful when we're trading thousands of dollars and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Exactly. Yes.
And so it's very important that when you're and then also another great thing is you get your 5% and you get out. So it's not like you're having to sit in front of a computer all day and
Yes.
you're waiting for the markets to hit.
Yes.
You know what you need to do. And if it doesn't happen at the 5-minute orb or it doesn't happen at the 15-minute orb, you're done. Just get out. Don't be depressed about trading that day,
That's right.
and if you need to take a break, then take a break. Don't just keep going through waiting and waiting
Yes.
and waiting.
Yes.
It's like,
Yes.
I'm done. Take a break for that day. Try again tomorrow.
That's right. That's right.
So, and the other thing I think that if you're feeling depressed, I'm glad that we have this community where we can lean on each other, we can talk to each other, we can give each other pep talks.
Yes.
I lost money the first day trading because
Mm.
I couldn't figure out how to get out.
I know.
I couldn't figure out how to get out, but that didn't deter me from trying again. The next day I was green, the next day I was green, the next day I was green.
I
But what
know.
if I had just said, oh man, this is so
It's not for me.
depressing. I lost my money. I'm not doing this. Then you can't, you have to be able to stay in it long enough to see the beauty in it.
I agree. I
And
agree.
so, if you're just know when to stop, if you're depressed, take a break, and come back and lean on the family, lean on your
Lean on the
cousins.
family. That's why we're here. That's why, we're
Yeah, lean on
cousins.
your cousins.
It's nothing like a bunch of good cousins, I tell you. I do want to go back and say this when you said something about mental toughness and self-care. I think that is so important, the self-care and pray. That's right. Angela said, and pray.
Right,
Absolutely pray.
absolutely.
And this is a praying community over here. If y'all don't know about now, you hear me all the time. But self-care. I think just making time for yourself and the things that make you feel good and that feedback that pour back into you helps keep you from getting into that depressive state. So I'm glad you brought up the self-care. And then the mental toughness, some people just don't have it. But I feel like if you start with self-care and learn how to set boundaries, this is all boundaries. If you realize, I tell you, I'll play one stock. Yes, thank you. I do. I go for walks. I do, I'm always meditation and yoga. I do Pilates. I'm always out walking the Grand Pub. I'm just doing, I get fresh flowers every week. I do things that just make me feel relaxed. But I also don't stay in the market. It's 9:30 to 11:30. If the play comes, it does. If not, I'm on. So I do love that, Liz, that you brought up the self-care part, because that's setting the boundaries. Setting boundaries. And I was saying, I teach you how to set boundaries by, guys, one trade a day, one stock, only play 2 hours, only do 5%. That I'm setting boundaries for you so you can have a strong mental toughness. So yes, thank you for bringing that up and thank you for sharing. Okay, so anyone else would like to add? I think Amina or someone mentioned isolation. I think that is a part of depression. Would you guys say that? You can unmute yourself if you like.
I would say absolutely. That's part
Yeah.
that's all. It's connected. Everything is connected.
Everything is connected, but
Yeah.
you may not realize that you're isolated until sometimes being isolated, you don't think you're depressed. You just think you're being to yourself. And then it takes someone to say, oh no, there's something else going on. So I think isolation is something to pitch in on and speak on, but Tammy, are you here? Yeah, Tammy, you think you can speak on isolation? Hey, that's Amina. Hey, Amina.
Yes. Oh,
That's you. Hey, Mina. Is Tammy?
yes. The isolation part with trading, it makes that's what makes the depression worse, because you isolate because you don't have anybody. Some of us, none of our family members or friends or neighbors are trading. So
Yes.
when you lose a trade, you don't know how to explain to them, because you can't go to somebody and say, I lost I lost $1,000 in about 2 seconds.
Right.
Like you think, yeah, I think
Right.
you're delusional. Maybe you're going crazy. How? On the computer?
Yes,
Oh,
Angelique, you're right. Liz, you're right. Yeah, they do. You can't talk to anybody and people do. You can't tell
yes,
somebody I lost $4,000 in
yes.
in 3 seconds. You can't.
So I feel like this is a journey where when you lose the
Yes.
money, you're by yourself, and that's how you get more depressed. So the isolation is much, but finding a tribe like this, a group, you can talk about it. Like the other day, I text you and you said it's okay, and I can
Yep.
walk you through it. You understand me.
Yes.
The people in this group understand what we are going through. So
Yes, yes, I agree. Thank you for even adding that in there. But isolation is a lonely feeling. I remember in my early days of trading when I was losing, I lost up to $42,000 before I made any money. And I tell you, the amount of loneliness, depression, and you're doing something that could be so great, but no one can relate to you. And I was entertaining people every weekend, every Saturday, Sunday at my home. I cook dinner for the community, for my neighbors and friends. Nobody in the room I could talk to, a room full of 40, 30, 40, 50 people that I'm feeding. And they don't know I'm suffering in silence, because they tell y'all that I, don't know what I'm doing, and what they'll tell me to give up. They would have told me to give up a long time ago. And you don't want to you're right. And you don't want to share your losses with non-traders. You need to try people that speak your language, because, and even then, sometimes I'll be honest with you, being a woman trader, it was even more difficult, because it's like the guys had their own guy thing. And so when you're trying to get into their world, it's different. I'm glad we have men, the cousins over here, they're very supportive, but just as a woman trading, it was a lonely, lonely place to be. And so I'm grateful for this community, and minority, don't double. Yes, it was a lonely place to be. So I'm glad, I'm grateful. I want to provide the opportunity for other people, other traders. So I never want anybody to feel like I felt before I became a successful trader. And that's another thing people don't talk about. Being not making money and making a lot of money is also isolation. Because the more money you make, people are happy for you at first, and then the vultures come out. And then you have to isolate again, because now everybody around you wants something and they know you can do it. I mean, everybody, churches, friends, people come out of woodworks from elementary school, they'll find you. And so then you have to go back into isolation again. So now, guess what? I just now build a community of people that'll be like me. So all of us will be millionaires. But yeah, thank you for sharing that.
And Arletta, this community is so different. I mean, the camaraderie here is just amazing. Like people jump in and help with answers and questions, and no one's
Yes.
belittling someone for asking, certain questions. It's just amazing because you can be I've been in a Discord before, and you can still be lonely in a Discord. You don't know any of those people.
But you better
So
know it, yes.
this is something totally, totally different. So I
Yeah.
appreciate you pulling this together.
I'm glad that you appreciate it, because like I said, I know God told me to do it. He's told me to do it. He didn't, when he told me to do it, he did know what kind of person I was, because when I get on something, I don't let it go and I have to see it to succeed. But the best thing the other platform could have done was suspended me, because we wouldn't have ever been on this one. And I feel like this is much better because we get to see and talk to each other every day. That's why we cousins. These cousins at your grandma's house during the summer. We get to see each other as cousins every day and go through all of the emotions with support, our wins, our losses, the days we don't feel well, our birthdays, anniversaries, kids, we celebrate each other, period. And it all starts with the head. I always look at a situation when it's a lot of drama. I say, who in charge? Because when I see who's in charge, I'm like, I see why now. I see why, but because you guys lead, I lead by example, and God has just sent like-minded people. So we don't tolerate any negativity, backbiting, or anything like that in this community. We just don't. They gotta go. They have to go. We have to keep the vibrations very high. We're on our way. We're on track to make almost $500,000. Do you think we have time to play? We can't play with people who aren't serious about the community. So I'm grateful. And thank you for saying I'm a good leader. Thank you. All right. Listen, I'm so used to our other forum that I'm waiting on Angelique to jump in.
So this has been wonderful. This has been great. Arletta, if we're gonna end, I think we've had a well-rounded discussion here.
I agree.
We're grateful for those of us who joined and were able to share that experience. So this video, for someone who's never traded before, Arletta, can you just give a summary of all of these things that we've discussed? Give a summary and close us out with something strong and a word of encouragement and wisdom for anyone new who might be watching this.
Oh, that's so good. Anyone that's new and you've never thought about trading, or you don't know how to trade, it's been on your mind for a little bit and you found this video. First of all, I'm telling you, I know I have to say it, but God loves you enough to see you here. This community is amazing, full of love and support. Day trading can change your life. It changed my life. But once you make it not about the money, that's when it starts to change your life. If you go in it for the money, it won't change your life. But if you go in it learning to say, hey, I'm going to learn a new skill, I'm going to create generational wealth down the road, I'm going to be able to become financially free. That is the thing. Being financially free is different. It's a different mindset than making money, because people go to work and make money. But when you become financially free, it's a whole nother strategy to it. So I just want to welcome you to the world of day trading options, which is what we do. I teach a 5% strategy, how to get in the market every day and just take 5% out of the market, only leveraging $100. That will compound each month. You do the math. The first month, 100, that's 200. The second month, you leverage that same 200, get 5% of that, that's another 2. Now you have 4, and then you repeat. The 4 and 4 is 8. You get it? The 8 and 8 is 1,600. This is how you're going to compound your way to success and to financial freedom, just by learning our 5% daily drip method. And it's taught Monday through Friday. We have the links the link will be in the bio that you can actually just jump in and get caught up on the videos and join our community Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 7:30 p.m. Monday through Eastern Standard Time. So I just want to tell you that anybody that's joining this community, anybody, I want you to know it won't be long. It won't be long before your success shows up. Just hang on in here with us. This Amos 9:13. Bye.